Guys, we know a lot more than what people. You know, you can help yourself in this situation. You know, if you're straightforward with us. Are you willing to waive your?
Yes, we're at Lake Murray again. You're just gonna see me for right now because Terry hasn't done her hair in like 4 days, so she doesn't want to be seen on camera.
Been 1 day.
We came down to Lake Murray because it's gonna be nice and warm down here. We have this cardinal at this site. Hopefully you can see it. He's dancing around in this tree. I probably can't, no, I'm not gonna be able to make it out, but he likes to jump on top of the motorhome and play basketball with an acorn or something. So he's making a lot of racket, and when we caught him earlier, he parked his rear end on our mirror on the coach and was tapping the window, sitting on top of this mirror just tapping the window. It was like 5 o'clock this morning. He was on top of the coach. I don't know what he was doing. He was making all sorts of racket. He's an ornery bird. But we are in a different loop or campground here at Lake Murray. We're at Elephant Rock. It's one of the 2 or 3 loops that stay open year-round out here at Lake Murray. Typically during the summer, this is a very busy loop. There's a lot of campsites here, and it's right here, right on the water, and a lot of people come down here. But this time of year, January, it's fairly quiet. This is the Elephant Rock Loop. It's usually like I said earlier, it's pretty packed in the summer. It's got a boat ramp, got a nice bathhouse, got a not so nice bathhouse. I would say the majority of the sites have full hookups, probably 70% of them. All of the sites, I believe, that are on the shore do not have sewer hookup, but they've got electric and water.
Catch a quick glimpse out there of why they call it Elephant Rock.
Yeah, I really don't see the elephant in it, but
I don't know if you can see that on the camera.
we'll get over to it. So.
Okay.
There's some tent sites over here. These actually are primitive sites. There is no hookups on them. Oh, I lied. There is hookups on them. It's just electric. I don't think there's water, other than right in front of us. I gotta watch where I'm driving. Let's see that rock out there in the lake. There have been times where we've been able to
Walk out to
that rock without getting our feet wet.
Yep.
But as you can see, we've gotten plenty of rain down here in the recent months. So.
And the rock's actually pretty big. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, it's huge. I mean, there's a little bit of climbing to get to the top of it when the water level's down.
Yeah.
We like this campground. There's actually 3 loops down here in this area. You got Cade's Cove and Tips Point, and then Elephant Rock. Elephant Rock is the only one of the 3 that's open year-round. The other 2 are, it's usually mid-March to mid-November when they're open.
We even saw a water snake one time when we were paddleboarding.
Yeah.
On this loop.
But these sites right here, water and electric, no sewer. Usually these sites are shut down in the winter. I guess they're wide open this winter, so, which is cool. If we had not needed sewer hookup this weekend because she was bathing the dogs, we probably would have stayed down here on the shore, but
That sounded like an accusation.
it was.
Okay, we should have had dirty dogs.
I don't mind dirty dogs. Get back, you dirty dog. You don't know right from wrong. And I'm not one of you. Nice little pull-through sites right here. Couple of handicap accessible sites.
Not on the water, those are on the left.
Yeah. But even the ones on the left are nice.
Mm-hmm.
And this little strip right through here actually kind of gets rowdy. These are reserve. You can reserve these online.
This is
Unfortunately,
favorite right
because
here.
site number 68 is our favorite site. And a couple of years ago when they went to online reservations, site number 68 was reserved every weekend of the year. I think we've stayed in it one time since they did the online reservations. It's one of those cases where...
It's a nice hike up to the right there.
Yeah.
That's paved.
It's one of those cases where people will reserve the sites in advance. Whether or not they're actually going to go, they don't know. They're just going to reserve them. There's really not there's just not a real penalty to canceling the reservations. So
That's depressing when it's empty and it's.
yeah.
And it's
Oh, we've been down here multiple times, and site number 68 was reserved and vacant the entire weekend.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that is Elephant Rock. Lake Murray State Park, motorcycle. Elephant Rock campground. We've been there quite a few times over the years. Typically we go in the winter. When you go during the summer months, there is a booth at the front because there's a day use fee that you have to pay to get back there. If you're camping, you don't typically have to pay it, but that kind of depends on the attendant.
Really? I didn't know that.
And I talked to the camp host before we left, and the subject of reservations came up. The state of Oklahoma, they started their reservation system quite a few years ago with the state parks, and Lake Murray was slow to get on. And when they first got on, it was just the 7 or 8 campsites there on the shore of the lake at Elephant Rock.
Kind of primo sites.
Yeah, like Site 68, which is our favorite. And like I mentioned earlier, when they first went online with that, Site 68 was taken every weekend, but not occupied every weekend. So I asked the camp host about that. And what he said actually surprised me. He said, because I mentioned something about, if there was a penalty, a better penalty for canceling your reservation on Thursday night, maybe that'd stop. And he says, well, the majority of the people don't cancel their reservation. They just don't show up. So they pay the money to not be there. That one just baffles me. I mean, I guess I don't have that type of money to throw around. I mean, granted, it's only $25 a night, but still, I mean,
if we did have that kind of money to throw around, we'd give it to homeless people or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that actually floored me. But it's the camp host's responsibility to run around and flip the signs from reserved to available when reservations are canceled. And he's been there for 4 years, and he tries to stay on top of it best he can. But the reservation system has just always, the way it's done has just always kind of annoyed me. And I know Florida State Parks is much the same way. People go in and they block out dates, reserve dates, whether or not they're going, 6 months ahead of time, they're on there reserving that weekend. And
yeah, St. Andrews State Park, they tell you to get in there, make your reservation like 4 to 6 months in advance or something. Yeah,
and then they don't show up. I mean, they're just making sure that they have a site for that weekend, just in case maybe they want to go get a campsite. So that's the way it's going on here in Oklahoma too. A little annoying. Fortunately, Lake Murray isn't all reserve sites. As a matter of fact, I think most of the state parks I've looked at, all of their sites aren't reservable. They still have a good share of first come, first serve sites. Our other favorite loop there at Camp Murray, Martin's Landing, is actually going to reservations this year, which is good and bad. I mean, the good part is maybe we can get down there more often. I know Lake Murray, we always go there, but the bad news is those sites could be reserved well in advance by people who have no idea if they're going camping or not. So anyway, yeah, just another trip to Lake Murray, but the weather this weekend kind of dictated that we go south, and it paid off. I mean, when I was packing up Friday morning, it was 20-something degrees out here, and it's 63 degrees out right now on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
so welcome to Oklahoma. It was a good trip. I think that's all I got to say.
Yep, it was good. Always is.
Thanks for combing your hair.
Did I comb my hair? I pulled it back. It's good enough. I hid my hair.
Later, gang.
Jerk. That's right. You're a jerk.
Wow. I'm gonna go cry. I'll see y'all later.
Bye.